Jack, how you doing this morning, baby?
You know, I'm doing fantastic, man. My wife and I got away for the weekend, which we never do. And we got away with some friends of ours. We just kicked it out in the desert, had some laughs, ate some good food, and got to visit with my best friend and his wife. And my wife and his wife get along like bread and butter. They just laugh the whole time.
Right,
So it's great.
that's great. I was just talking about this track. I mean, I guess it's not relatively new. It's been out for a little bit, but Hot Habit is a newer track from the new group. And I gotta say, I love the track. Your vocals sound brilliant. The songwriting on it is wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit about it? I know you're making a record, a brand new record, and I guess it's almost complete, being mixed.
Well, yeah, it's done. I'll tell you, Hard Habit is the, I wouldn't say worst song on it because it's a great song, but it is at the bottom of my favorite songs and everybody else in the band because it was one of the first songs we wrote. It's still a good song, but the other songs are so far elevated in that you wouldn't even think it was, from the same band. I mean, our music sounds like Great White, because that was what the voice represented.
Sure.
But the songwriting that, has been elevated. I mean, I write with Robbie better than I've written with anybody. I mean, the first song we wrote ended up on the album. And
Right.
it is a very eclectic record, and it's just smoking from top to finish.
I got to speak briefly with Robbie, and he said the same thing. The Hot Habit, which I love. He was saying that's that the new songs are just miles ahead of even that track, and he was saying,
Oh, yeah.
it runs the. It just is. There's like you were saying, an eclectic mix of different styles. What was the process of writing these tracks? Was it very easy? Did they just come out of you?
Pretty much. I mean, there wasn't any songs that were really a struggle to write. I mean, I write the music on some, and I have the melody lines and some lyrics, and I show it to Robbie. I don't play, so I kind of got to go down, 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 or whatever, And he's got to figure out a chord from one note. So he just picked up on that right away. And I don't know, it was amazing because you write with somebody for 30-some years, and then all of a sudden you write with somebody else, and you're like, okay, how's this going to be? Is he going to have a bunch of dumb ideas that I don't like, or is he going to think my ideas are crappy, or are we just going to hit it off? And I was really surprised when it was just, boom, we were thinking along the same lines, but Robbie added a flavor to what I was doing, guitar-wise and melody-wise, singer, and he's one of those music theory guys, So we have a lot of moving harmonies and stuff that we never had before. It wasn't just a third and a fifth singing the same melody.
That's the kind of thing that you want to do. I mean, it's like you're always constantly evolving. How did this version of Jack Russell's Great White kind of assemble?
It was a godsend. I mean, Robbie was introduced to me through our first bass player and our drummer, who subsequently got fired. And Robbie stayed with me, and because we had a good thing going, we knew that we worked really well together. We wrote great songs together.
Right.
And when I say great songs, I'm not patting myself on the back. I just got back to my friend's house and I played him the record. I go, dude. And this guy was my first roadie. He did the Judas Priest tour. He did the Whitesnake tour back in '84, the original one. So he knows the band inside and out. And I told him, I go, this is the best record I've ever done. And he had his doubts, and he thought my voice was gone. And he put it on. He goes, oh, my God, dude, you sound like you're 20 years old.
Right.
And he goes, the band, these songs, I can't believe them. He goes, it's like Great White evolved from, Cro-Magnon to human,
Right.
So, I mean, nothing against those guys,
Sure.
but this is a different band, and it's just shocking how a different band approaches songs, and what comes out,
Of course. Do you have a release date for the new record?
Should be February. We were a little late turning it in, just because of the mix, and we wanted to make sure it was pristine.
Sure.
So we sat there, me and Robbie, because Robbie and I produced it, and we wanted to make sure it was pristine. And now it's we're scouting out mastering guys, and we've sent it to a bunch of people, and I think we found the guy we needed. That's not gonna kill the sound or make it too high-endy or too low-endy. And it just sounds, I hate to say it sounds brilliant.
It's incredible. I mean, I'm very excited for you. And, obviously you guys have been playing some shows. You got a couple shows coming up at the end of this month in Houston and Joliet, Illinois. Are you planning a large tour? I guess once this thing comes out, are you going to go across the country? You're going to maybe try to go to Europe?
Well, we're hoping so. We got some people that we're trying to hook up with, some bands that are of our ilk, but have done better than, let's say, some of the lesser bands
Sure.
that you see touring all the time, and we're trying to get with the upper crust, and I think the record will prove it all. I mean, it's the show, the live show. I don't know whether you've seen it or not. Is really, really good. There's a lot of energy. Our drummer is bar none. Robbie is a musical prodigy. Tony Montana, he used to play bass.
Of course.
The old band is also, I forgot he was a guitar teacher, and he shreds. I mean, so we got two lead guitar players, and they share solos, and the drummer is not to be stopped. The bass player is, fantastic. And they all sing. We got a song on the album that's nothing but vocals. It's all done with vocals, not one single instrument.
Wow.
And it's really amazing,
I've seen some live clips that are online, and I have to remark the energy on stage. It is a top notch. I mean, you guys are sound like you're totally locked in. Robbie running across the stage, just shredding on the guitar. I mean, it is a joy to watch, and of course, your vocals are second to none. Doing this, I know you've had ups and downs, with your health and things like that. How are you doing health-wise? I know you had a couple of bad years, a couple of bad accidents. How are you feeling these days?
No, well, I'm dying. They gave me 2 years. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, jeez. There it is.
No, actually, I'm doing really, really well. My wife, she's a nurse, and she's taking great care of me. And, she watches what I eat, and she makes sure I do this and do that. And she's, gives me all kinds of supplements. And she keeps me in good health,
That's great.
It's a really a great thing. And, I feel good. I'm moving around more than I ever have. My voice feels, just amazing, and I've been taking care of myself, and I've had a lot of energy. And Robbie, he's like, oh God, energy in a can.
Right.
So it's a really good stage show. You don't know who to look at. It's like everybody's moving around, and it's very synergistic, and it looks like a rock band,
right?
Not just five guys staring at their shoes.
And of course, you do some of the classics, and then I presume you're going to be doing a lot of the tracks off the new record. And I've noticed there's a couple of covers that you're thrown in there. How do you decide to do what covers kind of jump out at you when you choose to throw something out at the crowd?
Well, you don't want to play too much, and that's why Immigrant Song's like a 2-minute song.
Right.
So you're not taking up too much time like playing Kashmir or something.
Right.
So, we do it because people love our version of Zeppelin. I think my voice has the same timbre kind of, so I can get away with it.
Right.
And, as far as the new songs go, we're not just going to bombard people with a new record, because nobody wants to go to a show and all of a sudden, we're going to play the whole new album. It's like they don't know it yet. So as the singles come out and they get a chance to learn them, if they're making some headway, we'll play them, I want to play people. I want to play stuff people want to hear, you know. And you play like 5 or 6 songs everybody knows, and you sneak in a new song, and maybe at most you play 2 new songs until the record becomes more well known, and hopefully it becomes a hit, which I think it's got every possibility of doing something that nobody's ever done for years.
I think you're at a great opportunity. I mean, now on the verge of putting out this record, and kind of getting this group is in shape, and it's at peak level performance. I think it's a very exciting time. In previous interviews, you've talked about potentially doing a book at some point. Are you still planning on maybe putting together the story of Jack Russell?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're doing a book, and there's also a movie coming out. We've been filming for 2 years.
Is that right? Is it a documentary?
Yeah, it's my life story.
Wow. How is that?
And, I'd appreciate that if you kept that between me and you.
You got it. I will not tell a word.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, because I wasn't supposed to talk about that. My wife just gave me a look that would melt ice.
And we'll just keep it between us. That is totally fine.
She's my assistant, my wife, my lover, my best friend. She does my Facebook stuff. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be alive.
Yeah, I mean
she actually saved my life literally 3 times.
Tell me a little bit about that, because I know you were you'd had a bad drinking spell where you ended up in a coma.
Oh God, that was the 29th of September, and I just celebrated my 1-year birthday. I was at the Cheesecake Factory, which is directly opposite of my boat, and Don Dockett wanted to borrow something from me, so I went to meet him up there, and he was an hour late like usual. So I had to have a Mai Tai, and one Mai Tai turned into like 9.
Oof.
And when he got there, we had a bunch more, and then I was falling off my stool. And my friend, the bartender, goes, "Jack, you got to leave or we're going to have to call the cops." I go, "Oh, okay, I think I'll leave." So Don took me down to my boat, dumped me off on my wife, and split. And my wife had to drag me downstairs to our stateroom, put me in the bed. Next morning, I couldn't wake up. She couldn't get me to wake up.
Jeez.
So she called an ambulance. They came and got no, was it an ambulance or did you take me? Yeah, she somehow got me into we had a wheelchair out there for my Achilles tendon when I tore that. We hadn't taken it back yet, so she somehow got me into that. Wheeled me into the car, took me to the emergency room, and, they took me right into the ICU. And 5 days later, I woke up out of a coma, and the doctor said, "Look, I don't know you, I don't know who you are, it doesn't matter to me. But I will give you some information that may matter to you. If you drink again, you're going to die.
Wow.
Your liver cannot handle it. You put it through too much." And so he says, you got 2 choices. You drink, you die, you live, you don't. So it wasn't like a hard decision. I just said, okay, well, I'm not going to drink. And, a few weeks ago, September 29th, was my 1-year birthday.
Wow.
Congratulations. I'm not going to drink again. I don't want to die. I mean, and the reason I think that it really hit me hard was Janie Lane.
Of course,
my friend Janie,
Warren, right?
Because they told him the same thing, and he decided to push it. And, you get away with it once, you think you could do it again. You do it again, you get away with it. Oh, this guy's full of it, Yeah. And then one more time, and boom. So I don't want to be a statistic,
I guess it's kind of left over from, the heyday. I mean, when everybody was young and the excess was just there, I mean, when you look back on your life and you look back on, the success and being able to, you're partying and you're getting to goof off in different areas, do you reflect on your life and think, gosh, I am extremely lucky to be here?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had a pulmonary embolism when I was 3.5 months in the hospital with my colon burst on an airplane.
Jesus.
Right? I had septic shock. I was in a coma for that for 5 days. They told my wife to start getting my affairs together because they didn't think I was going to come out of it because of the sepsis. And one day I woke up, and they're like, "Oh, my God," I couldn't believe it. So I had a colostomy bag for 9 months, and I was in the hospital for 3.5. When I got out of the hospital, of course I had the bag, and then one night I was laying in bed with her, and I go, God, I can't breathe, honey. I can't breathe. She took me to the hospital and had a pulmonary embolism, so I had to take Coumadin, which is like rat poison.
Right.
And I was on that for months, and it finally worked. But yeah, it was scary, man. It wasn't no fun walking around with a bag hanging off you.
Oh, no way.
And my wife had to change it. I have a whole new level of respect for those people that have to live with them.
Right.
It's horrible. It's just horrible. I'm just lucky that it didn't have to be a lifetime thing.
Of course.
But I weighed 137 pounds when I got out of the hospital.
Jeez.
I could touch my fingers around the tallest part of my calf.
Oh, jeez.
It was scary.
Right.
I had to learn how to walk again.
Is that right?
Were
you worried that you weren't going to be able to perform? I mean, obviously, live.
Sure I was, and I didn't really want to.
Is that right?
My wife pushed me and pushed me and pushed me. She goes, Jack, you're too good. People want to see you. You can't just let these people down. I'm like, I don't know if they want to see me or not, And then I said, okay, I'll do it, but I'll do it for, more altruistic ways. I did it for the benefit show.
Right.
And, that got me back on stage. And it wasn't like I was doing it for myself. I was doing it to help people out. So, I got to smile again, and now, I've gone through 9 psychiatrists, 14 psychologists, and I pretty much got the post-traumatic stress syndrome. But, it'll be with me all my life. I lost too many friends.
Honestly, we're all happy that you're still here and you're still with us. It's a miracle to think. Looking back in the last 7-8 years, just with the hell that you've actually gone through, and be able to, speak with you, and let alone get to see you live this year. Can you talk about any of that, the book or any of that stuff now, or is that still?
Yeah, the book. Yeah, the book is going to be completely honest. I'm not pulling any punches. I'm talking about my life, good, bad, ugly. Because I don't really care what people think about me at this point.
Right.
I just want them to like my songs and my voice. If they think I'm a piece of crap, well, you know what? That's fine. A lot of people think that anyway.
Why?
But I want them to care about my songs. I'm a pretty nice guy. I don't treat people badly.
Right.
Maybe I used to in my early days when it was like, how to be a rock star 101, treat everybody like you're better than them, be Gene Simmons,
Right.
So, I just realized that, I'm no better than anybody else, man. I just have a different job,
Sure.
And all work is honorable, whether you're serving french fries. As long as you like what you're doing, you're successful.
Right. And
I don't care what it is. If you like swimming and digging golf balls out of golf courses and that's your gig, good for you, man. You're successful. You're doing what you love to do. That's all it is.
Obviously, the internet is it can be a lovely place, but also a very horrible place. A lot of people, you mentioned it, sometimes people react to you differently. You know what I mean? Some people have a really positive view on you, and some people are very negative. Why do you think that people have such a adverse reaction? I guess, with the split up of the two groups and the lawsuits and this and that, why do you think people give you such negativity?
Well, let's just pretend that, your girlfriend or wife went to see me play.
Sure.
And she didn't come home because she got burned in a fire.
Right.
Who would you automatically point your finger at first before you knew anything about, what happened or how it happened or any of the forensic details? All you know was she went to see Jack Russell sing. Who would you hold accountable?
Unfortunately, it would probably be the person they went to go see.
Right. And I get it. That's what I would do.
Right.
But that wasn't the case, I didn't have anything to do with the fireworks. I mean, I didn't say when we set them off, or my tour manager talks to the owners every night and says, "Hey, can we use pyro?" And they'll say yes or no. And when they said no, we didn't do them anyway because you don't poop or eat. You know,
Right.
we play the same clubs, same places every year.
Sure.
And you don't want to come there and upset the guy, and then next year he goes, "No, you didn't play here. You broke the rules last year." You know, so I didn't, I didn't have any idea that the foam that they put up there was flammable. It was mattress foam, And then the worst thing about it was for inspections, they had down the hallway they had an exit door that says "push to exit." Well, what they used to do, they did that for sound because the house is behind them. So what they used to do was install another door behind that door. So in order to get out, you had to pull the door that said "push."
Oh, geez.
And then open another door. So here's all these people pushing this door, and they can't get it open. So it's like they were doomed. And I watched this forensic report on a thing, and they said, well, if they had it at capacity, and all the all the doors were the way they should be, nobody would have got hurt. So it's all I can say. I don't blame anybody. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. Like an airline crash, who do you blame? The guy that did the wiring, or the guy that made the wiring,
Right.
or the guy that put in the wiring, or the guy you just kind of go, okay, it was an accident. It was a horrible accident, but you can't blame one person. Fire marshal for me should have checked the club out better and did a 12-second burn test on anything that's hanging on a wall. That's
Right.
what they do in California.
Sure.
But it didn't happen, and a lot of people suffered for it. And I have a lot of friends that were in the fire and got horribly burned. And they're real good friends. They know what's what, but how are you gonna tell a guy that's lost his wife? Hey, I'm sorry. You don't go. It wasn't my fault.
Right.
And I couldn't say I was sorry anyway for the first, until recently, because my lawyers are going, you can't say you're sorry. That implies guilt. I'm like, but dude, I am sorry this happened. I'm not sorry in a way that I did it, but I'm sorry that this happened. God, you can't say that. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Right.
So the film gives me an opportunity to say that, in my own words, and talk about it, and talk about the friends I lost, and how lucky I was to get out of there. And mostly I tell people, that when you go out to a restaurant, club, etc., don't think that the owners have your safety first on their mind. The first thing on their mind is making money. So you need to go in there and find the exits and figure out if something happens, this is what we're going to do.
Right.
It's up to the public to, watch out for themselves.
I mean, you mentioned that it was like a plane crash. I think of the Lynyrd Skynyrd plane crashes as kind of being a similar thing where there's so many components involved. And
oh yeah,
I mean, it could have been you. It could have been you. It could have been somebody
things
else.
that line up to make something like that happen.
Right. And well, changing the topic, I want to,
Yeah.
when you look back back in the heyday in the earlier years of Great White, was there ever a time where you were like, holy crap, this is happening to me? Because I know that you were such a huge fan of obviously bands like Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin and these types of groups. As a young Jack Russell looking back, do you remember that moment for you where you're like, holy crap, this is happening for me?
Yeah, I do. It was weird. Let me tell you something about the new album. It's called He Saw It Coming. And the record is about, there's a song called He Saw It Coming. When I was 6 years old, and this is the honest to God truth, I've told this story for years. I wanted to be an archaeologist. And when I was 6 years old, my parents bought me the Help album for my birthday by the Beatles. And
Right.
remember putting it on my little black, little record player, and after talking about it, I can remember what it looked like. There was these silver knights, and they were jousting. But it was like wallpaper. It was all, And I put it on, I was listening to it, and then when we got to help, man, I remember I was jumping on my bed, saying, help, I need somebody. Little did I know how much help I really needed,
Right.
But this was nothing short of the clouds opening up and angels coming down and imparting this knowledge to me, like, you're going to be a rock star. And I'm like, whoa. This was heavy, for a 6-year-old kid.
Right.
And I'm going, whoa. How's this going to happen? And I didn't get any more answers. Just, you're going to be a rock star. So I knew growing up. And I tell people, look, I know. And how do you know? I go, I can't tell you. I know you think I'm a freak,
Right.
So we cut the demos at our studio, and it was like they were good songs, but they were a band just trying to write its first songs, But
Sure.
they were good. It was like, wow, that's pretty good for a first song from a band, And we just kept writing and writing and writing and playing and writing and playing until we finally put our own record out. And then every band, and we were the first band ever to get regular airplay on a major station, and that was KMET. And then KLS started playing as KNEC, and whatever song we gave them, they started playing it. And it went to I forget the highest it did on Playboy. And not Playboy, we weren't talking about Jesus. on Rip. You see what mine's at.
Oh yeah, Rip.
And all the magazines, and every label in town wanted to sign us. And we ended up signing with a label that was not the right label. My manager liked the label, and I didn't like the person that signed us, Gary Gersh. I thought he had an agenda, which he did.
Right.
He wanted to make sure that the most wanted band in town failed, so he could blame it on the president and get his job. But that's exactly what happened. So we somehow got re-signed to Capitol, which is their sister label, and then the rest is history. We've been on 5 major labels, this band.
Right, I know. It's a hell of a ride.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride, But I never thought that we were as big as we should have been, so I think I'm going to take that legacy and just keep pumping on it.
Keep going. In the early 90s, the whole industry changed. And a lot of, there's people talk about the metal scene and the hard rock scene, but rock and roll changed. MTV changed, and the grunge thing started to happen. I remember seeing the MTV Unplugged with you guys, the original Great White, on that, doing "Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You," and just being floored by them. And and then of course a couple of years later, the whole thing changed. And when you look at that era, and you're making a new record now, and you've been able to do it with your own, no one's really checking in from the labels and this and that like it was. Do you appreciate making records now as opposed to how it was in the 80s?
Absolutely. They trust us enough to know we're going to come up with something that's worthy, and it really is. I've never made a record this good. With this many songs on it that were... There's not a fast-forward song on this record.
Is that right?
There's always that song you go, okay, fast-forward.
Right.
Or you talk over it. Here comes a part. Oh, hey, we did this part, blah, 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 blah. Okay, part's done. Okay.
Right.
And it's just an amazing album. From start to finish, it's an amazing album.
Have you got a name for it yet?
Yeah, it's called He Saw It Coming.
He Saw It Coming.
Which is about, me when I was younger. I knew what was coming. Well, I knew what my life was going to be. What's funny is Robbie, my guitar player, 10 years ago, made a skit with his young stepson and his friend, and it was about these two kids that are waiting for the brother to leave because he's got instruments in the room, and they hear him leave, so they go, he's gone. They run into his room, they run down the hallway, and the one kid goes, I got guitar, I got dibs on drums. They open up the door, and there's a huge audience on the stage, and all going, rah! And they close the door, they go, oh my God, that's crazy. Well, oh my God, you want to go back in? No. He goes, come on, you wimp, let's go back in. So he finally agrees, and they go back in. This huge audience again, and they close the door, and that's when the song starts. And the song's about, me. You say I've had my day in. You look at me and shake your head.
Right.
You say my time is over. You can't believe that I'm not dead. Something like that.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's great. You know what? I look forward to this new record. And do you have any plans to come up to the Bay Area once the record's out?
I want to. We haven't been up there in so long. I want to get up there. I want to go everywhere. Hope to see you guys up there, because I just want to get up. We haven't been there in a long, long time. Last time I was here, I was on my boat.
Oh, wow.
Taking it up to the San Joaquin River Delta.
Sure. What I got to ask you. You're one of the few rock stars that we've had on the program that lives on a boat. What is boat life like for Captain Jack Russell?
For me, it's great. For my wife, she doesn't have a bathtub. So, that could be tragic for a woman.
Right.
But, she hangs in there for me. And it's funny, Robert Sars and his wife came down to visit. And after they visited, they immediately sold their house, bought a boat, and moved on to it.
Is that right?
Yep.
Wow. How long have you been on the boat for?
You've been on the boat how long, honey? 5 years? 5 years.
And you take it out. You go. Is it a sailboat or is it?
Yeah, we take it out. We go shark fishing. It's a power boat.
Wow. Yeah. Well, next time you're in town, bring the boat up. We'd love to. We'll do another show from the boat.
That'd be great. I would love to.
I love to. Well, Jack, I want to thank you so much for spending your morning with us and chatting.
Come on.
And
no big deal. My pleasure, man.
Honestly, God, from the bottom of my heart, excited to not only speak with you, but also to hear this new record. And I honestly wish you the best of success and luck for you in 2017.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much, man. It's a step away from the norm for me, and I really like it. It just shows you that we're not a one-way street.
Right.
And there is a lot of creative juices, and this is a different type of great white. I'm not saying all of a sudden it's the Mormon Tabernacle Choir,
Right.
But it's different. People are go, that's a great white. Nah, I don't do overplaying vocals, But it sounds like a great white.
And it's the new great white.
Well, it sounds like Jack Russell's great white.
There
it
it is.
Sounds like.
There it is. Well, Jack, thank you so much, baby. We'll check in with you when you get up here. Hopefully we can we'll meet up at the show. I would love to do that.
That sounds great. I would love to do that.
Thank you so much, Jack, and we'll talk to you soon, baby.
My pleasure, boss.
You got it.
Have a good one, man. God bless.
Thank you, Jack.